Championships. Jason Walker alongside Paul Panisco, and we are at the title games. First the win, we'll have the men for you later. It's been a great first weekend down here in Butte.
It really has. You know, it's been over 2 decades since this tournament was in the mining city, and it has lived up to everything we expected. You have 2 brackets where the women's side is your 1 and your 2 seed get through like you'd expect, and then the men's side, we've got Cinderella, and Cinderella is dancing, and we're going to have what should be a great night of championships. You can tell the crowd is already into it. They were real loud last night, and it's going to be a great environment.
We hope we can follow up what happened last night with buzzer beaters and close games. But, Paul, when you talk about this women's game, Dakota State, Montana Tech, you mentioned it, they are the 2 best all season.
You know, they are. They really have put some distance between themselves and others, and the Frontier Conference is very good again this year. We're going to have multiple teams, I hope, get into that national tournament. I would think right around 4, maybe even 5, hopefully, knock on wood. But these 2 are very deep. You know, you'll see these 2 programs will both go 10, 11, even 12 players deep. You'll see tremendous guards, great play on the inside, and both are exceptionally well coached. This is one, if you have little kids that are basketball fans, put them down and watch how these kids play, because both groups are very special.
And then for Montana Tech, I mean, it's not a home game, but it's going to be really close.
It will be very darn close. You know, a brand new floor here in the Civic Center, new lights, and it seems like the tournament, everybody has really enjoyed themselves, and there are going to be a few people here.
Yeah, this is the first time in a long time that Montana Tech's been in this position. Dakota State, welcome to the league. It's going to be championship night in the mining city when we come back on SWX.
Accidents happen. Vehicles break down. When it comes to towing your vehicle, trust answers. You can trust that we'll be there quickly when you call. We'll tow your vehicle safely. And our mission focuses on keeping you and your family safe. Request answers. Because when it comes to your well-being, nothing replaces experience.
For more than 50 years, the Fireplace Center has been warming homes across Billings and surrounding areas. Family owned and operated at the same location, Fireplace Center is the largest fireplace retailer and the region's premier distributor of Heat and Glow products. From classic to modern, simple to statement, including Heat and Glow and many other top brands, we offer solutions for every style, every space, and every budget. We're #1 for a reason. We install it, we service it, we stand behind it. There's only one Fireplace Center, 824 Central Avenue.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
I wanna wake each morning with you next to me.
You've got the skills. Now it's time to put them to use at a job you love. Join us for the JSEC Jobs Jamboree at Metro Park Pavilion on March 18th. Early entrance for veterans, U.S. military reservists, and their families at 11. Then from 11:30 to 5, we're open to the public. Find employment opportunities across many diverse industries and receive the opportunity to engage in face-to-face discussions with potential employers. There's something for everyone. For more info, call Job Service Billings at 652-3080 today, and we'll see you at the 34th Annual Jobs Jamboree.
The anthem is done. That means we are just about time to get some basketball started. The first time that the Frontier Conference tournament with the new North Star Conference part of, or the old North Star part of the new Frontier. And Paul, I think it's what it has done, both the men and women. We see some fantastic basketball now.
And that is the case. You look at the way this conference has grown and the depth that we have gotten in all sports. Dakota State is a great example of what that North Star brings into this conference and the kind of power they bring with them. And really look forward to a long-term investment in the Frontier Conference.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about the Butte Civic Center. Let's do our Butte Auto keys of the game, Paul. And it's, we talked about it in the open. You got your two best teams in the Frontier. You've got a team in Dakota State that really likes to pressure the ball and get it up and down the floor.
Yeah, you look at this. We're watching the Trojans get introduced here in their starting five right now, and they're exceptionally good. And we just saw Tabor Teal, number 11, first team All-American, Frontier Player of the Year. She is one of those players that is incredibly good from like 26 feet in. She doesn't have one thing that you have to stop because she can take it to the rack, she can shoot the three ball, she can pass effectively. She is insanely smart, but she is outstanding. The big one for me, though, are guards. I look at these are the two best guard units in the Frontier Conference, and I think that's the battle. The last two times they played, that's where it's won or lost, in my opinion, and that's where it's going to be this time, is to watch how these guards stack up. And we'll talk about them as they go. But you've got Wasman and Dyer on one side for the Trojans. You've got Avery Carlson and, of course, Brooke Bedevinik on the other side, and they are going to be big factors in this one, Jason.
If there is an advantage for Montana Tech, is it the post?
Yes, I think it is, and I think it's depth at post too. Tabor Teal is incredible. They don't have you have Chappell behind her, and Chappell's played really well this tournament, but there still isn't a whole lot of depth there. Whereas Montana Tech can go 3 and almost even 4 deep in the post, and they all kind of bring different facets to their game. And I think the post is where they can make things happen.
We've got a really cool dichotomy of coaches because when you look at Jeff Graham and David Moe from Dakota State, he's been doing it a long time for the Trojans. He's had a lot of success at the NAI level. And then Jeff Graham, it's taken him about 3 or 4 years, 5 years to get this program where he wanted it. Great high school run at Belt, and he's doing it now here in Butte.
And it isn't easy. I mean, you hear it at every level. Getting a program started isn't easy, and it has taken time, and he has got it and made it work, and it's in his mold, if you will.
And we are underway. Frontier Conference Women's Championship. That is Caitlin Dyer out of Australia, and the great dish, Paul, across the paint.
Yeah, just a fantastic pass through the middle. Watch out. The ball movement that Dakota State has in the key is impressive, and it's going to be a big factor all night. This is the other one. They're going to bring pressure all night, and they do it all season long. They never really back out of it, and their pressure is so good, and that's a big one for Montana Tech, is to get through the pressure, but then get into the offense and relax and run your offense, not just try and attack and get to the basket.
Yeah, they will attack 94 feet, and I mean, it's just a really good basketball team, one of the best in the country, as Tech now trailing 2-0. And we're going to get a walk. And again, Paul, that goes back to that defensive pressure.
Yes, very much so. Sierra Watkins there defensively on Liv Wongren. Wongren wanted to go on the interior. Passing lane was shut down, and she is called with the walk. Turnover will go to the Trojans. Turnovers, it's going to be interesting to keep track of those here tonight, see where that number gets to.
Oh, absolutely, because whoever turns it over more is probably not going to win this game. These two teams, Paul, are so close. They split in the regular season. A 17-point win out in Dakota State for the Trojans, as that 3 is missed, and an offensive rebound, and that was close to a double-dribble.
Nice job by Gunderson to track that one down. That's the other thing you will see out of both these programs is insane hustle. They will not let anything just go.
Oh, good defense. Pressure as it's knocked away by Carlson, and the layup at the other end goes in for Wongren.
Liv Wongren, senior leader for this Montana Tech team, an absolute bedrock player. She is what Coach Graham has brought into this program and wouldn't be where they are without her.
You mentioned the ball movement, Paul, between Dakota State players, and it's so quick, and there's Teal taking it to the rack, and she'll draw the foul and head to the free throw line. But yeah, it's It's really fun to watch great basketball being played.
Yeah, 100%. These are, again, I keep bringing it up, but the idea of if you have kids that want to play basketball, these are the type of games you have them watch, because there's none of the grandstanding. You're not going to see any antics at all. This is just hard-nosed basketball, well-played basketball, exceptionally well-coached basketball, and teams that run their stuff. There's no, you look at a player like Tabor Teal, and a lot of teams, she's averaging, I want to say like 21 points a game. In a lot of systems, she might be averaging 30, 35, but the fact that they spread the ball out, she is part of a system, not just an individual.
Well, you have 4 players right at 10 points or above double figures. As the 3 is on the way, it's no good. And the rebound pulled down by Bria Wassman out of Sibley, Iowa.
She is an exceptional guard. I've had an awful lot of fun watching her this weekend, and Watkins with a great take.
Yeah, Sierra Watkins, the junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She has had some fantastic basketball games this year, and there's another reason why.
That's it. These are 2 programs that, again, just don't rely on 1 or 2 people. You're going to spread it around. Nice
move
effort
on the
inside. Yeah, it's what they wanted. Just need to get that to go.
Billings West product couldn't get it knocked down. You see how quick the Trojans get up and down the floor. It's so impressive as Teal goes to work inside, and there's the block shot.
Auber swats it.
And now Wongren out of Plentywood. She'll leave it off for Hadley Humphreys. And Hadley didn't play in the game in January out in Dakota State. In that 17-point loss, as Watkins has fouled and she'll head to the line. But she made a big difference when she came back in February.
Very much so. I truly believe that Dakota State might be unbeatable at home. They are, we have 3 teams in the Frontier Conference that were undefeated at home. These 2 and also Rocky Mountain College. And I truly do believe. I think the Trojans might be unbeatable on their home floor. Winning on the road this year is so hard. And I'll tell you, they're so good out there. And we saw a heck of a battle when they came to the Mining City.
That one was a 10-point victory here last month. And Sierra Watkins, the 5'7" junior at the line, knocks down the first. She is just 53% on the year, and she goes 2 out of 2. It's usually how it works.
That's the case. Watkins, her high this year, 18 points against MSU Northern.
Is there... Well, as we get through the press, I got a really good question I want to ask as soon as I can remember it. Just once again, good defense and great ball movement. Swung around left side. The 3 is good for Haley Neubauer.
Neubauer knocks it down. That's a big-time shot from the wing, and that's something Montana Tech cannot get in the habit of doing, getting that ball all the way down deep in the corner when the press is there. You've got to just get in the zone and relax and get into your offense.
And a great move. Hampton Hines was talking to her before the game. As we announcers, as we do, we get pronunciations, and she goes, it's Hampton, and then she goes, like the sauce. And I said, oh, you got 57 different moves. And she looked at me, and Coach Mo goes, she's too young to understand that reference.
Far too young. She has had a fantastic tournament thus far. Really has played well inside herself. Has stepped up scoring when they needed it, especially in that semifinal game. But just again, another incredible role player in this Dakota State team.
And I know Tabor's the Conference Player of the Year, and in All-Americas the Trojans get the steal. But we talk about it a lot already. Is so well balanced. Both these teams. And by the way, Dakota State was 14-0 at home, and there's Caitlin Dyer for 3, and the Aussie hits from deep, and we get our first timeout.
That's a big one. She offensively has been pretty quiet in this tournament, and honestly, luckily they haven't had to D her, but boy, she steps up big there.
It's a 9-point lead, first quarter. Frontier Conference Women's Championships in view.
Welcome to Grand Peak Family Dental in Billings, Montana, where your family's smile is our priority. Dr. Claire Bollinger and our warm, welcoming team provide personalized care for all ages in a friendly, inviting atmosphere. From routine cleanings to transformative teeth whitening in under 30 minutes, we've got you covered. Ask about our family dental membership plan for exclusive discounts on quality care. Schedule your visit today and experience the Grand Peak difference, where healthy, beautiful smiles begin.
We come from everywhere, drawn to a name, a history, a legacy. But for us, it's more than just a name. It's the rhythm of the streets. It's the roar of the kennel. It's the dream in every kid's heart. Every time I put on this jersey, I feel that rhythm, that roar, that dream. Now it's time to see us, to feel us, to watch us. Join SWX and be part of the excitement this season.
Tech calls the first time out of the game as trying to settle things down. Dakota State off to a 14-5 lead, and we've got a held ball is going to be called as Dyer battles down there, and I believe that was Kylie Conan as well. But Paul, this fast start by the Trojans, not entirely unexpected. What do you think Jeff Graham was saying there?
You have to get into the flow of the game. You have to be ready to go and just calm down. You belong here, and just get into your game and let it go.
Was it 10 years that it had been about when Tech was in the championship last?
83.
Oh, even longer.
Back when Meg Murphy was playing for the Montana Tech Ore Diggers.
That is a nice move and a good attempt at the rebound, but just again, the quick hands from the guards. Another steal. Three-pointer is on the way, and it's good. That's back-to-back threes for the Trojans. This time, Mackenzie Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons just drains a long one. She's an outstanding shooter. And again, this whole team is. If they start getting the green light from the three-point line and start putting them down, you've got to get out and get on them hard.
You know, and we see this too as you look at Dyer way out in front, and then we're going to get a foul. But they pressure 35. They pressure 94 feet. Yes. But when that half-court offense gets started, they're not sitting back inside the three-point line playing D. They're out in your face.
Yeah, very much so, and they don't stop. You know, it isn't once you get into the offensive zone they relent. They continually keep the foot on the gas pedal and come at you. And Montana Tech has seen it. They just need to adjust to it and get their game because they want to play up tempo as well, just a little bit different style, and just see if they can settle down in the offensive zone.
Go down inside to Haber, who puts it up and no good. And again, Dakota State back the other way. 5.5 to go in the first quarter, and it is 17-5.
Montana Tech with 4 missed bunnies thus far. You can't have those in any game, let alone a championship game. They move.
Very nice defensive steal there, and back the other way now. Brooke Badavinik. She's hit some big shots in her life in this arena as the three from
Van Blaricom notched it up.
Rachel Van Blaricom, the Jefferson High product. What a great multi-sport athlete just up the road in Boulder. And now the three is on the way. This one is no good from Wassman, and rebound back the other way for Tech, and a dangerous pass, Paul.
Yeah, very much so. Wassman just baits that pass. She'll take it to the rack and get the foul, and we're going to see that a lot where those guards will stay a couple steps out of the passing lanes, and you'll see them jumping passes, and you just have to know better. Again, calm down, get into your game. This is the type of game you want to play as well, but under your conditions, if that makes sense, rather than playing how the other team wants to.
Oh, 100%. You work. It's just like football. You pound it. You play your tempo.
Yes.
And if you can get the other team to play your tempo, good things can happen.
And these two teams are both teams that get huge runs. And if you haven't figured that out yet with Dakota State, they're on a nice 18-point run here in the first 5 minutes and 17 seconds. But the same can go the other way as well. And we'll see how the next 30-plus minutes go.
That free throw no good. Offensive rebound, though. Good hustle from Watkins. And now the three again, Paul, on the way. This one, Ella Karstensen.
Yeah, that's a big-time shot. And even worse, it's that ultimate foul. You can't give up offensive rebounds on a free throw. You know, the only two bodies over there were both wearing gray jerseys. You've got to get people out. You've got to block out. You've got to get those rebounds and bring it the other way.
So it is 21-5, and already 2 timeouts called by Tech coach Jeff Graham. And, he's an experienced coach. He's got this team playing fantastic basketball this year, including here in the tournament. But these are still, 18 to 22-year-old kids that haven't been at this level since maybe high school. A little bit out of it.
That they were nervous the first game, trying to get a first win in tournaments. They were able to do so. They played a lot more loose in game 2. And we'll see if they can kind of shake the jitters and get into their game here, as they are an extremely high-powered offense and a great team as well. They just need to – there's a whole lot to be said about belief, and they need to fall into believing in their abilities, especially your teammates, more so than yourself.
Well, that's one thing you will get with this Dakota State team is guy or gals going for the ball and missing it, so it gives you numbers and an offensive rebound, and the putback no good. But it will send Avery Carlson to the line, the junior from Havre, who won a state tournament in this building, I believe.
It's amazing how many have, to be honest.
Well,
that's kind of crazy. Haber makes that thing happen, goes up for the first rebound. Then Avery Carlson, she is having a monster year, especially here over the last maybe 2 months. She has just been everything you want out of a point guard and just a phenomenal player. She's a 67% free throw shooter and a tremendous leader for this Ordigger team.
1 out of 2, 0 out of 2. So I missed both. I was too busy checking her free throw. Teal maybe walked underneath. The kick out, though. Wasman off the glass and in.
That should be worth 4.
I think you and I have both said that for a long time.
Yeah, you use the glass on something that deep. That's it.
And a great move by Badavinik. And, Paul, to me, she is the type of player that is the epitome of Butte basketball, Montana Tech basketball. She's a Butte girl, obviously. But if this team needs a spark right now, it could be her.
Yeah, completely. She's like I say, a Butte Central product. She is the all-time leading scorer in Butte basketball history, not just girls basketball, in all Butte basketball history. And she is, the freshman year was a learning curve for her. I mean, there is a lot of it's tough freshman year. Last year was tough on her. This year she has really fallen into herself.
Air ball for 3. That's going to go out of bounds. That'll be Tech basketball.
They might look at it. Honestly, from my angle, it looked like it. Yeah, I think Brooke Badavinik might have got a hand on it underneath the baseline.
Yeah, they will come together and, great officiating crew here at the Frontier. We'll see some of these people that you saw all weekend at the NAI tournament as well, whether it's at the pods or the final site. Tom Dwyer, the head official tonight. Players right now working, Paul, with injuries and all sorts of things. Our head official, Tom Dwyer, has a torn meniscus.
Hello.
He tore it at Havre last weekend. 3 on the shot clock. 3 is going to have to get fired up. It is no good. And again, an offensive rebound way out to Wasman. And now she'll penetrate.
Incredible shooting right now by the Trojans, as you saw on your screen a little bit earlier. Already 70% from the floor and just as good from the three-point line. Tech trying to turn them away here.
Tech playing really good defense on that possession. Got through 2 shot clocks, but then the 3 by Watkins.
They are 5 of 9 now from the three-point line, and Watkins, just knocked that one down. 7 points for her. Brooke Badavinik the other way.
Well, that's what I said. She could be the one, as Tech now into double figures at 27-10. Trojan just so quick in down the floor, and too quick on the feet from Angelina Chappell out of Bloomington, Michigan. Talked to her before the game. She is no relation to Billy Chappell, the pitcher for the Detroit Tigers and for love of the game.
How long did it take for you to explain to her who Billy Chappell was?
I didn't even get a chance. She just looked at me dumbfounded.
Yeah.
He threw a perfect game. So Tech, a chance here to make a nice little run, and I always bring this up, but longtime broadcaster, great Hall of Fame coach here in the state, and we're going to get Van Blericum stepping on the sideline, but Gary Turcotte always said, this is a game of runs. John Thatcher very, very much says it as well. Yeah. And we're going to see a whole lot of that.
And these two teams especially are built for runs. You're going to see them, points come in buckets one way or the other. And we should see probably 4, maybe 5 decent runs combined out of these two teams here in this women's championship.
Mackenzie Simmons kicks it out, and now Chappell for a 3 off the mark. And the ball knocked around, still loose on the floor. It is tipped That is nice hustle by both Tech and Dakota State, and then the steal for Van Blaricon. She'll bring it up with her orange shoes across the paint. That is a great feed and a hard foul, and that, Paul, will send Wangren to the line.
Yeah, Liv Wangren just lives for that. You know, she's going to fly up and down the floor. She hits the tarmac hard, and she just keeps chewing the gum, jumps right back up. Liv Wangren, an 86% free throw shooter. And again, kind of the backbone of this team. You know, she's really kind of unflappable. She gets after it. And, just a phenomenal player.
It was 27-11 after the first free throw goes down. I've talked about it throughout some of the games we've done this year on SWX. The free throw shooting in women's basketball for the last 10, 15 years has just gotten through the roof good.
And we talked about it all day yesterday. The amount of 80 to 85+ percentage shooters in our conference, it's staggering how good the free throw shooting is.
Well, you got to hit some to win them. And we're under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Another three on the way. This one off the back iron, no good. And Humphreys with the rebound. She'll get the outlet off to Carlson. Carlson, nice crossover on the new floor in its first year, holding its first real tournament. And a great offensive rebound by Hauber in the putback.
That's a big-time play by Hauber, and Montana Tech needs that right now. They're losing the rebounding margin, which they should be dominating in, and they've got to get up and start pulling down those rebounds. A big-time play by Hauber, and she'll shoot one.
It's a little mini run here by Tech, and you can see the fired up, the smile. You know, he looks like he's yelling at him, but he's really encouraging him, Coach Graham.
I'll tell you, he is one of the most character individuals I've ever been around in my life. He cares for people like you can't believe. He believes in people, and he's just an incredible coach.
Well, I said when Tech hired him, it was one of the best hires that could have been done in any sport here, and a nice move. And finally, the foul's going to be called. It puts Karstensen at the line.
Karstensen, she's one that I have really enjoyed. You know, she isn't. There are so many names on this Dakota State team that jump off the page when you start looking at them. Karstensen was one that might have been buried underneath a little bit, and I'll tell you, her gameplay this weekend has really impressed me. She's strong and physical. She can shoot the long ball. She can get after it, and she is a huge factor for this team. She had a 22-point game against Dort earlier this year.
And the second one is also no good, 67%. Talk about flying under the radar. I mean, she's fifth on the team, 8.8 points and 5.1 rebounds. So it's not like she doesn't contribute. She just does it quietly.
Exactly.
There's a three, way off the mark. And Dakota State's Teal with the rebound. Averaged a double-double this year, 17.3 points, 10.5 rebounds per game. And a three, and a foul. I think they're going to get Niebauer with it. And that'll be 3 free throws coming up.
Yes, and that's the case. Niebauer will get hit with a foul. They will shoot 3.
And that is Wasserman down there. You know, you look at this roster, too, for Dakota State, as good as they've been, they only have 2 seniors.
That, for the rest of the league, is really scary.
Yes, it is. And that first free throw is good, and that's the first points in a couple of minutes for Dakota State. 28-15 now.
She is just a fantastic guard. I love the poise she has on the floor. A real floor captain. Has great vision, dishes the ball well, shoots the ball even better, and really kind of controls tempo, which is saying something for this Dakota State team.
That ball tipped, and it'll go off of the Ore Diggers. Stay with Dakota State, so we're seeing again after missed free throw, Dakota State getting more chances here in the first quarter. 48.1 remain. It is 29-15. Dakota State with the lead. Teal goes inside all the way across the paint, switches back, and puts it up off the glass. It is. She made that look easier than it was.
Exactly. You know, she can go with her left hand or her right. She's equal parts, talented both ways, and just a special player.
That is a great move there by Hauber. Lowered her shoulder and a much-needed bucket. Dakota State now can hold for the final shot at 31-17. 20 seconds to play in the first.
You talk about confidence. That's something Hauber that is getting more and more of every game, and it showed in a play like that.
And it wasn't the greatest of passes. Teal kicks it out. The three is off the left iron, no good, and that will be the end of a very fast-paced first quarter. It is 31-17, one quarter done. Dakota State leading Tech.
Midwest Shooting Center, Billings' premier indoor shooting range. We feature state-of-the-art shooting lanes designed to accommodate users of all skill levels. We offer comprehensive skills training and customized one-on-one instruction. We're open to the public and have membership plans available. Midwest Shooting Center in Billings, your one stop for all your firearms needs.
United Way of Yellowstone County works tirelessly to improve lives by connecting people to opportunities to create a resilient community and build strong futures. We will highlight the good they do for our neighbors in need, let you know how you can help, and inform you of the programs they provide. Join us for Strength in Service, the final Friday of each month on the Nonstop Local News at 6. Sponsored by Valley Credit Union.
Agriculture is vital to Montana. That's why Nonstop Local wants to keep you informed on all that's happening in the fields and ranches of Big Sky Country. The Western Ag Network has years of knowledge and experience, so they can tell you the stories that matter, the stories that make a difference and impact our way of life. Join us every weekday morning on Wake Up Nonstop Local for the Farm and Ranch Report, brought to you locally by S-Bar S Building Center.
Miss Sosa is a fantastic teacher. She actually joined special education later in life. She did a complete career shift because she was so passionate about helping kids and being a light in their life is what really her goal was. The kids really love her and miss her. She connected with them on a deeper level, and I think with these kids, it really mattered to them and it made them feel important and seen, and that's why they're doing so well, is because of the connection she made with them and their parents. She's truly an amazing person, but an amazing teacher too.
Into the second quarter here in Butte at the Butte Civic Center, and Dakota State leading Montana Tech. Women's Frontier Conference basketball championship game. First time it's held in Butte with the new teams from the previous North Star is Teal inside. And I think Humphreys might have got a hand on that, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Montana Tech. You know, you look at a couple of those first quarter stats. Obviously, we know how well Dakota State shot. They actually had 2 more turnovers than Tech did. Won the rebound battle, and that includes 8-3 advantage in second chance points.
Yeah, that's a way too big a margin. Big time rebounding by Dakota State. We'll see what Montana Tech does to try and change that up as we continue.
Tech made a nice little run towards the end of the first quarter, and they go right back inside to Humphreys. And that's what you talked about. They may have a little advantage, Tech, inside the post.
We'll see if they start to use that high-low. They've used that extensively this year. That has worked very well for them. But again, it just comes down to getting in the offense, getting comfortable, and we'll see if they can get into their offense here.
Oh, a nice defensive play by Badavinik. Forces the errant shot. She comes away with it. And she'll bring it top of the key. She'll stop and fire a triple, and it's good. Big shot.
Brooke, a 30% three-point shooter. She's in her head a little bit. She's kind of known for her deep ball, and she hasn't shot it very well this year, but certainly looked good with it there.
And that brings it down to a 9-point game. Dakota State is led by as much as 19. And Wassman's going to get into the paint and draw a foul.
That was a late whistle. I thought they were going to let it go. That was a pretty good collision through the center of the paint.
You know, it's one of those things, and I know you and I talk to officials all the time at high school up to the college level, but it's almost like if the basket goes in, they might not call it, but if it doesn't, then they might call it.
Yeah, you know, and there's a line there, and you have to, you know, good officials will let it get just as close to the edge as they can without it getting too physical where people are going to get hurt. And I'm telling you, being an official is crazy hard. They have a tough job to do, and it is not easy at all. I'm telling you, especially the block charge for me is the hardest call in all of sports. There's 100%, nothing like it.
100% agree.
And I'm not even an official. I'm not trying to, suck up or anything.
We don't suck up to the officials
No,
ever.
goodness, no.
We got a great crew. Can't wait to see who's on the men's game tonight. And a nice move by Kylie Conan. She draws the foul with that little hesitation, extra step.
She has had a fantastic freshman season for Montana Tech, playing more and more each game. She had 8 blocks, which was one shy of the school record. She, in a game earlier this year, ended the regular season with like 50. And as a true freshman, just great numbers for her. And obviously, it comes from a very good Dillon program that is just talented. And Mom might be one of the better players in the Frontier Conference history.
Yeah, there's been some wonderful ladies that have played in this conference at many different schools. And, you know, we always talk about the Rocky men, the only ones in the Frontier to win a championship, Western women. But Northern won a women's NCAA or NAI Division II title, 1983.
Look at you go. That was good digging.
I may have seen that banner a few times up there at the Armory. Great gymnasium.
It is. You know, and that's and I'll tell you, those are a couple coaches that I just adore.
Oh.
You know, I absolutely love Chris Mowat, one of my favorite people in the world, with what he does for his players, what he does for Hoops for a Cause, and honestly, what he has done for myself, and more importantly, John Thatcher. I just love the guy, and he's one of the best defensive minds you're going to find in all the world. And we're seeing what Coach Hughes is doing as well. They both put together a great tournament. You know, both Northern teams won games that, well, they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And the Northern men continue to win games they shouldn't win. So we'll see if they're able to continue that trend here tonight.
Here it is 32-22, 8:07 here in the second quarter. And it's just been a fantastic game. We've seen a little bit of everything from both teams, and Tech making a nice little run at the end of the first quarter, cut it to within single digits, now just within 10, and plus they get the ball now.
Now it feels like they're kind of in their flow. So, you know, they're kind of comfortable where they're at. We'll see if they can start clawing away here.
Oh, and a tough pass there by Van Blaricum, picked up by Caitlin Dyer, and a nice up and pump fake, and then she kicks it out, and they'll reset the half-court offense now. Nice kick out to Watkins again for 3.
Watkins just absolutely on fire right now for Dakota State. She is 2 of 2 from downtown. She has 10 total points.
Nice inside and very good touch. Olivia Nielsen up off the glass.
Nielsen has just battled all season long. Great story. We can talk about her later.
Teal misses off the left wing or left iron. And Nielsen, freshman from Kemmerer? Kemmerer?
It doesn't matter how you say it. It sounds like you're saying it wrong.
She's from Wyoming.
There you go.
Van Blaricum, the 3, and she's fouled by Watkins. And now Rachel Van Blaricum will shoot 3 free throws.
Rachel, a transfer from MSU Northern, who we were talking about with Chris Mowat, and has come into this program, sat out her mandatory year last year. And was a big factor on the bench, you know, really helped out kind of in the coaching realm. And I think it helped her understand what this team is about. And when she stepped on the floor, she was instantly part of it.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she was an unbelievable athlete at Jefferson High. What, 31 miles north of here?
That's sure.
About?
Me and Maps and I aren't friends.
Knocked the first 2 down, and a chance here for the unconventional three-point play, and she gets it.
65% shooter, knocks all 3 of them down.
Hey, that's called very good concentration, and it's tough too. You know, you think about it. You come from your gym, which are typically a lot smaller across the Frontier, and then you come into a big environment like this. It takes some time to get your bearings and find out the depth.
Yeah, and even noise and everything else. I mean, this place is loud. It has been pretty raucous here the last couple days.
No better place to be for a college basketball game or even high school than here at the Civic Center. And another 3. That's an air ball. Did not touch the rim. Teal's got to get it up, 2 to shoot. She doesn't realize it. Now she puts it up. And a shot clock violation. Terrific defense by the Orediggers.
And again, I think they were communicating that the shot clock was down, but I think the noise is an issue. They were unable to hear it as Teal was backing it up into the lane, trying to get a good high percentage shot, and just ran out of time. But again, another offensive rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, Montana Tech has to shore up the glass here, especially in a game with this kind of magnitude.
Well, both teams pretty good on the glass in the regular season, and we'll see more of that as Tech now down 8, closest they've been in a while, and now down 6, and it is 35-29. The Orediggers on a roll.
Hauber gets her third one down, 7 points on the night for her.
So now it is Dakota State's turn to try and answer another miss, another offensive rebound. This time the putback is good for Watkins.
And Montana Tech is watching that ball go through the air while Dakota State is reacting while that ball is in the air. They need to start breaking at the basketball before it comes down to the floor.
Get a substitution, and and we'll see that. You and I were talking before the game, because of the way this tournament is structured out, it is a tough tournament, no different than the NAI will be.
Yes.
But you're going to see more depth probably tonight than we would have seen Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I think especially with the hard battles both teams had yesterday, depth is going to be an issue here today.
That is a beautiful move. Baseline, Hauber up and in.
Hauber with 9 points. Liv Wongren gets herself another assist. They certainly have hooked up an awful lot this year.
And Badavinik with the steal.
Brooke Badavinik defensively this year at guard has been just wonderful.
That one is out of bounds. They tried it. Wongren did with Hauber and just unable to convert it, but that was a great look.
Yeah, I think you're fine with that. You like that fast break, you've got a body, go get it. Just get down the floor, and again, these teams are built for runs.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see 6-8 point runs on both sides of the ball. You just need to be able to keep your cool when you're on the bad side of it, and when you go on good, just get after it.
And that's where these great coaches come into play, but also, and we're going to get a travel on the skip through by Wassman.
It almost looked like she wanted a jump stop and then just kind of kept going.
Yeah.
If she'd have jump stopped, she'd have been completely fine, and I don't know what compelled the extra steps there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's the guy that you and I have called a lot of games with.
Yeah, JT's yelling at us on the air probably.
Yeah, he...
I've spent the last 3 days in a 4x8 room with him, so...
I feel bad for you.
He has chewed off most of my behind at this point.
Great guy in the city. Great coach. That shot just almost went in, and now we get a whistle, and that's going to go on Van Blaricum, who was on the ground. The Ordigger fan base not happy with that one.
It's a trip. It doesn't matter if it's your foot that trips someone or your neck. It's still a trip. The thing that honestly, it must be me getting old, but I'm just glad both got up. Both went down awkwardly.
Yes.
Teal especially looked like almost maybe wrenched a knee, and great to see them both jump up okay.
That was not a travel.
Foot stayed down.
Yep. This sounds like a tournament in the Civic Center.
That it does.
That shot off the mark, and then we're going to get a little too handsy foul, a frustration foul maybe, on Hampton Hines.
So it's starting to go the other way a little bit. Montana Tech, you can see, starting to enforce what they want to get done. That the team kind of talking to themselves a little bit right now, or the team in gray. And again, You're going to see that shift back and forth.
Well, these two played it tight down in Butte a couple of weeks ago here. That shot on the mark, or off the mark, no good.
Tech 5 of 7 shooting here this quarter thus far.
That's really good. That's 83%.
Yeah, you're going to be happy with that no matter where you are. See if they can keep that up at this point is the question.
The one thing they still need to focus on is some offensive or defensive rebounds, and maybe some offensive boards themselves. And another travel, and I got to be honest, Paul, I'm not seeing. For my seat, maybe I'm not seeing it.
It felt to me like there was a pretty significant drag. She put on the brakes and just slid. More than anything, it felt like. Again, and the pace of this game is really next level. And you're, especially with those quick guards, you're going to have to really watch out for that, because if you put on the brakes real fast, there's a real chance you're going to drag your pivot foot with you.
Yep. Got to get that jump stop. Just jump stop. That's all you have to do. Good ball movement. Tech. Shot no good. Ball is loose. Battled for. We're going to get a held ball. That'll stay with Tech with 3:58 to play in the second quarter. 37-31.
Rebounding margin still in favor of Dakota State. They have 19 total. Montana Tech with 14. 9 of Dakota State's 19 are offensive right now, getting 10 second chance points, which is a huge number this early in a game.
Absolutely. Wow, I don't know how, but Wongren gets it to go, and it's a 4-point game.
So Montana Tech really with their first run. That one almost thrown out. Nice job handling it.
Now Dyer over on the right side. She'll bring it up top to Simmons. Simmons going to penetrate down inside the paint. Turns, puts it up, and got it to go in.
Simmons is the real mismatch problem for Montana Tech right now. They have a tough time right there. They had Avery Carlson on her, and Carlson giving up several inches defensively. We'll see if they change that up.
Simmons, 6 foot, and it's scary when you get a 6-foot guard that can go down like she did and handle the ball so well. Of course, we see that everywhere now. And that one off the mark, and Dyer with the rebound. Teal.
Great ball movement.
Oh, and a good no call. Now Watkins, a 3 is off the mark, no good. And I say good no call there because there was a lot of contact. No advantage was gained by either player.
Exactly. No, and great point bringing that up, honestly. Dakota State really started out well from the three-point line. In the first quarter, they were 52%, 30% from the three-point line now in this second quarter. And that one is trending down right now, so we'll see if they change anything up game plan-wise.
We talk about this with teams all the time. You look at Dakota State, 6 of 18 from 3. Tech just 2 of 7. Are you okay, though, if you're Coach Mo, with that many threes going up by your team?
I kid you not, in the opener, I want to say they had 20-plus in the first quarter. I mean, the amount of threes they were shooting is just incredible, and it's not just one or two ladies. It's top to bottom. Yep. And a lot of offenses in basketball are built that way now, where everybody gets the green light. You certainly see it on the guys' side a lot as well. And I'll tell you, this Trojan offense, when it is firing on all cylinders, is one of the most beautiful things you're going to see. Their opening round game was it was insane. I mean, there had to be over 53s. I mean, it was incredible between the two.
Teal at the line, knocks down the first, 40-33. Tech has gotten it all the way down from 19 to within 4 here in the second quarter. At 19-point lead midway through the first, and Teal hits them both, and Watkins is going to come back in, so lead back to 8.
Teal is just so talented. She's a 60, where are we at here? A 68% free throw shooter. Looking at her numbers on the year, she had multiple games into the 20s, scored 30 in Dillon at Western. Just honestly, kind of a generational talent, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. And it's fun to have her in our league now.
Yeah.
I say our league, but nice little give and go and a late whistle, and I don't know if it's going to be on the shot or on the rebound.
Oh, Teal's going to be called with the block.
Okay, her second.
That's a big one.
Yes, it is. Do you leave her out for 2-12?
I think you're fine. If she was a different kind of player, and they will bring her out, so that will bring Chappell in. With her intelligence, she's not going to do anything quote unquote stupid. She's going to stay in shape, but again, it's a championship game. You don't want to really mess with that either.
First free throw is up and good for Wongren.
Montana Tech, good shot by Wongren, but yet again another point blank shot they just couldn't get to go down.
Makes them both. 41-35. The senior from Plentywood. I spent time playing baseball in Plentywood.
Yeah.
And then went up to Scobie. There's a reach-in. Technically not a reach-in. Rob Tesh is listening, and he's like, there's no such thing as a reach-in foul. It does not exist in the rule book. That's a hold.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry, Mr. Tesh.
Yeah.
And also no over the back.
Yeah, no. They're still in over the back. I'm sorry. Nice.
Oh, that's a fantastic move. Man.
I'll tell you. Yeah, she is just having herself a tournament. Carstensen has just been fantastic here this entire weekend. Played so strong.
There's a good one that falls within 10 feet for Wangren.
She's in double digits with 10.
Just how fast. Just get down the floor, in control even. And Wasman, the lead back is to 8 with 90 seconds to play here in the half. Tech. Oh, that's a tough pass, and that comes sliding into us.
Quick hands by Chappell that time, using her size. They wanted to get the ball down in the block, and she just denied it. Goes out of bounds, Diggs'll inbound.
45-37. These might be my favorite Tech jerseys. These the away ones with the copper. Oh,
I'm beyond. I'm not a person that can speak objectively about it. I think they're fantastic.
Nice turnaround jumper is good. Olivia Nielsen.
The other part of these jerseys maybe we can get a look at later is on the left chest. You'll see an angel, and it's Mariah's Challenge here in the Mining City. We have Mariah's Challenge with Leo McCarthy, giving scholarships to kids out of high school that do not drink in high school years. And they've given out like $500,000 in scholarships to Southwest Montana kids.
That is a fantastic thing that's been going on down here. Huge block. You know, Butte does so many great things. It's just, in this whole state, we're going to get a foul. You mentioned Hoops for a Cause with Chris Moad having, he started that. And then everything that goes on across the state, that people just help out, love each other. Well, the Frontier Conference is the epitome of it.
Yeah, very much so. And our town. When I say our town, I mean Butte, Montana. I'm born and raised. This is probably the building I'll die in, to be honest. Our town is known for a lot of things, and 92% of them aren't good. But Mariah's Challenge is something that has stuck. It's a huge part of our community, and I think it's making an honest-to-goodness difference. And we love that they are on our jerseys. It means an awful lot on both men's and women's basketball jerseys.
Yeah, that is fantastic. So a little 0.4 second differential, shot clock to game clock. It is 46-39, 30.4 remaining.
Very quick first half, as one might expect. We haven't seen much in the way of fouls, a couple free throws.
Ooh, good no call. Dangerous pass, and it's a turnover. And then it's turned almost right back over. And it'll be a held ball, and it will be a turnover on Tech, as it will go to Dakota State. I love the hustle, and you're going to see that in a championship game, no matter what level.
Yeah, that's just the way both these teams play. It doesn't matter if it's championship Saturday or game number 2 against Canada in October.
Right.
That's the way these two teams get out and get after it, and they're expected to. If you want to be on the floor, you had better be able to willing to get out there and get after it.
Teal with 20 seconds left. Now Dakota State can hold for the final shot. Nursing a 7-point lead, led by as much as 19 in the first quarter. Now with 10, Wasman starts the clear out. Now she'll back out. Dyer, 4 to shoot. Dyer, 3 to shoot. She'll have to fire it up. It'll be short. And that is a very good first half of basketball in the Frontier Conference Championship. A tale of 2 games between 2 quarters and 2 fantastic teams.
It's time to spring into action. Join us for the 2026 Relay for Life Yellowstone Kickoff event on Saturday, March 7th at Rimrock Mall. There'll be live entertainment, kids' activities, raffles, a collaborative art piece, and huge prizes for you to win, like this Riddles Jewelry Heart Amethyst and Diamond Accent Pendant and Earring Sad. Help us raise money for the fight against cancer, support your community, and have an incredible time doing it at the 2026 Relay for Life Yellowstone Kickoff event on March 7th.
And City Brew have partnered for Coffee for a Cause. Coffee for a Cause recognizes all the good our local nonprofits and first responders do for our community. Each month, one of these groups will be selected for a special City Brew coffee delivery, and we'll let you know about their work in the community. If you'd like to make a Coffee for a Cause nomination for a local business or organization, visit our page under the More tab at nonstoplocal.com today. Then join us to deliver Coffee for a Cause. Nothing affects our daily life more than the weather, and you can stay on top of it with the Fireplace Center Live Cam. You'll see fast-changing conditions, breaking weather, and a complete picture of what's happening out your window every night on Nonstop Local Billings. Accurate reporting, an experienced weather team, and the Fireplace Center Live Cam, all part of what makes us your trusted source for local weather.
We need your help to make March matter. Support Billings Clinic kids and help families by scanning the QR code on your screen. 100% of your donations will help families of pediatric patients in Montana and northern Wyoming with costs like utility bills, travel and lodging, medical equipment, and other financial needs. For every online donation of $20 or more, you'll be entered to win a 7-night stay in Mexico or a MetaQuest 3 VR headset. Please visit billingsclinic.com/Make March Matter for more information. Together, we can reach our goal and make March matter.
When it comes to auto repair, would you trust a chef to get the job done right?
Oh, that's hot.
Would you seriously trust a member of the Dirty Hands crew to make your breakfast?
Pan's been greased and a cup of oil. At Autotech Specialists, we get our hands dirty. Order up. So you don't have to.
We're the Dirty Hands crew. Get the right person for the right job. Visit Certified Auto Tech Specialists, 6809 King Avenue West.
Your health matters, and Nonstop Local wants to keep you informed on what's new in medicine, how to keep you and your family in top shape, and so much more. We get the info directly from the experts and bring it to you every weeknight on Nonstop Local at 5 and 10. Your Health is brought to you by Billings Clinic.
Exciting first half in the Frontier Conference Women's Basketball Championship here in Butte. 46-39 as Dakota State has the lead over Montana Tech. Jason Walker back with Paul Panisco and JP Gallagher, the chief executive for Butte Silverbow County. This is a fantastic thing, the Frontier Tournament, to have here in Butte. What's it do for the city, impact economic-wise?
Well, it's a great economic impact. You know, we love having the teams come in. Butte gets to showcase what we have here. You know, the Civic Center is a wonderful venue. I don't know if there's a better place in Montana that you could watch basketball. And this just showcases the best of who we are and what a great host city we are.
Before I let Paul jump in here, you know, you don't have a state tournament for high school this year. This is the next best thing, I guess.
Yeah, no, and it's been fantastic to have the Frontier here, and what talent. You know, the games that we've had here and just, you know, the elite level of these athletes is so fantastic for our community to see. And again, we just get to showcase this, and it's a lot of fun.
You know, and I think that is actually a great way to go, because if we didn't have a state tournament here, we wouldn't have been. You know, you go back, I think the initial bid process for this was January of last year, maybe early February of last year, and we went to Bill Melvin and yourself and we're like, what do we have? What can we do? And there was no state tournament here, and that really was what let us kind of pull the floodgates and get after it. And we can't thank you enough for what you've done. I mean, you are a person that is obviously Butte to your core. You know what this means to our community, and I'm interested. For me, it has exceeded my expectations. Where does it fall for you?
Yeah, it's exceeded my expectations too, and it's about the team here. Bill Melvin and his team. You know, when we bring in these tournaments, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of coordination, everything that goes on, but it's the team at Butte Silverbow that makes this happen. You know, it's nothing about me, and Butte always showcases well, and when people come here, they like coming, they're treated well, and you know, and it's just an exciting time for our community.
It's an amazing amount of pride that we put out there as well, and it doesn't matter if it's one of our ladies that's up in the you know, whether it's in the concessions or up above, or the amount of pride everyone that has a hand in it is pretty incredible, and you feel that instantly.
Yeah, it's when you look around, you know, there's everybody here that is part of all the organizations in Butte, and everybody chips in, whether it's Chamber of Commerce, BLDC, all the different organizations that just jump in, and then you see the people come out and watch the games. That's another thing. You know, it's not just showing up for the, you know, our local teams, it's showing up for all the teams.
Yeah, it's fantastic. JP Gallagher, Chief Executive for Butte Silverbow County, joining us. It has been a fantastic first year for the Frontier Conference Tournament. Looking forward to it. We still got, well, we got a lot of basketball left. An entire half on the women's side is coming up when we come back here on SWX.
Wake Up and City Brew would like to thank the staff at Early Childhood Intervention. Early Childhood Intervention is a service designed to meet the needs of families with young children experiencing developmental delays or who have disabilities. Their mission reflects research that shows participation in family-centered early intervention can have a major impact on the development of children. Thank you for all you do. If you'd like to make a Coffee for a Cause nomination for a local business or organization, click the More tab at nonstoplocal.com today.
Experience the Home Improvement Show March 6, 7, 8 at Metro Park, boasting over 650 exhibits, showcasing the latest home improvement trends and innovations. Win over $80,000 in prizes, including a $1,500 Ridgepoint Gutters package. Click on the More tab now at nonstoplocal.com and enter to win. From DIY to high-end design and everything in between, it's the place you want to be, and it's free. So, where to?
For grace, comfort, and rest from the struggles in life, join us for the celebration of the Catholic Mass. Experience a time of inspiration as we come together for Sunday worship and prayer.
Join us for Catholic Mass Sunday mornings at 8. For more information, visit heartofthenation.org.
We want to know who your favorite teacher is. Do they go above and beyond inside and outside the classroom? Do they spark imagination and creativity in the students? Nonstop Local Billings wants to recognize these outstanding educators with a Gold Star Award.
Nominate a teacher on nonstoplocal.com. Monthly winners will receive a plaque, $250 for their classroom, and gifts from our sponsors, Hansers Automotive and AVA Law Group.
It is 46-39 halftime. Number 1 seed Dakota State leading the 2 seed Montana Tech here at the Butte Civic Center. The Montana Sports Series presentation of Frontier Conference Championship basketball is made possible in part by the Billings Clinic. Billings Clinic, trust and be trusted. Strive for excellence, serving Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas. Jason Walker back with Paul Panisco, and we're going to show Dakota State highlights second, but we're going to start with Montana Tech because really the Ore Diggers are the team that's the hottest right now on the floor.
Yeah, truly, just the last few minutes, but the start of this one was not very highlight worthy for Montana Tech early, but they finally got their balance. They started to kind of believe in who they are, and it started right there. You brought it up. It all starts with Badovinik drive into the lane and just taking over there for a few was a big factor. And then I think Liv Wongren, the senior leader, Hauber as well, both doing an outstanding job and starting to do some damage down in the paint as well. Something that we talked about in the pregame is especially necessary, and we're kind of seeing it pay off a little bit as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, Tech 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, but they are 12 of 22 inside the three-point line, and that includes a lot of points in the paint.
Yeah, you look down here, and it's multiple different people. You know, you see Olivia Nielsen there on the turnaround. But again, those multiple bodies getting on the inside, starting to get comfortable passing the ball on the interior, making sure it's a nice skip pass into the low post, and off you go.
Yeah, and we're looking now to Dakota State. They started off this game extremely hot. It was tied at 2, and then the Trojans built a 19-point lead at 24-5, and they were doing it, Paul, from inside, outside, everywhere.
Everywhere. And, you know, a lot of it was honestly led by Dyer at guard. Dyer really had an outstanding first 20 minutes. Wasman jumped in to help. And then, truly, Karstensen. I thought Karstensen had a brilliant first half. I thought she played strong from 18 feet in, really got after it. And then Tabor Teal, she's going to get hers. She has 8 points right now, and I think if you're Montana Tech, you're okay with that.
Yeah,
I think 8 points. You know, you're going, all right, we'll give her 16 for the game. And she is an All-American player. Again, I think she is kind of a generational player. She is that good. And she's going to get hers no matter what.
And for Dakota State, you know, they have 10 turnovers, Paul. That's led to some points. Scroll up, or maybe not. But they have more turnovers than Tech, despite Tech only trailing by 7. But Dakota State, that was very good defensive first quarter, and then it went to the second quarter where it was all Montana Tech. We'll take another break. We'll come back. Second half when we return to Butte. 46-39 Trojans lead the Diggers.
Here's what's coming up this week on Billings Clinic Montana Sports Series on SWX Nonstop Local Sports.
Literacy is one of the most important pillars of learning. Literacy empowers our students and positively impacts their lives. That's why Nonstop Local has partnered with Black Hills Federal Credit Union for the Bring Books to School program. Each month during the school year, we'll visit a local school and present them with $2,000 to purchase books for their students. Let's encourage early reading and ignite imagination in our kids. Join us at Nonstop Local as we bring books to school. Sponsored by Black Hills Federal Credit Union.
Reading at such a young age is so important, and most of these schools don't have enough money to get the books these kids want. With the books for kids in the schools, it gives us like a purpose. It just makes us so excited to see them so excited.
I have had a lot of requests for more books and series, and so this is really going to be helpful. They're going to be super excited.
I like to grab new books about new things that I don't really know about, and if I like it, I'll keep reading.
SWX Nonstop Local presents the Billings Clinic Montana Sports Series. Live Montana sports all year long, from the Montana High School Association to the Frontier Conference. If you're looking for your favorite Montana team, we've got you covered. Right now on SWX Nonstop Local, it's the Billings Clinic Montana Sports Series.
Dinner and lunch for the SWX crew, provided locally by Pork Chop John's, a Butte America favorite since 1924. Pork Chop John's uptown and downtown Butte, online at porkchopjohns.com. Apparently, Brock Osweiler, who is in the Montana Football Hall of Fame, will have that coming up on SWX this summer, but he loved coming down here from Flathead High to just get the pork chops.
Yeah, I think that's solid. I happened to look up in the stands when we were walking over here, and starting left tackle, I believe, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Dylan Cook is in the building.
Oh, nice.
And I guarantee Dylan Cook is a fan of a pork chop or six as well.
He's had a few.
I think maybe.
We take a look at those first half stats. The Diggers ended up, Paul, surprising you, really, shooting a little bit better from the floor.
Truly, that is surprising to me, and I've been kind of eyeballing the numbers the whole game, but shooting 48%, you're going to be thrilled with. It was just that slow start to get rolling. 6 turnovers you're good with as well. That, you want to stay at 12 or under. And again, all my knowledge only comes from John Thatcher. You want to stay at 12 or under. That's what you're always shooting for. If you can keep in single digits for an entire game, especially one that is playing at this high pace, you're ecstatic. So 6 turnovers you're good with. The rebounding margin is starting to close a little bit, but that's the one area for me right now. If I'm Montana Tech, that's the one thing we really have to amp up. We have to stop giving up offensive rebounds as well, because honestly, Dakota State's done a really good job. They've been reacting to rebounds, it feels like, faster and more efficiently than Montana Tech has thus far.
When you look at any foul trouble, I mean, it was a very clean first half. Nobody really for either team. Rachel Van Blaricum does have 3. She's the only one in any sort of foul trouble, but a very fantastic game.
Yeah, and that's what you want. I mean, you don't. This is a type of game you don't want people to foul out. You don't want there to be any kind of. Thank you. You don't want there to be any kind of excuse. You don't want anybody to go, well, if we'd have had X that fouled out. This is a game that you want to make sure that stays that way. You play clean, and I think that goes to the leadership of these two as well. I think they're both really well coached teams. They have great internal leadership, and guess what? You're going to play clean. You're going to play the game the way it's supposed to, but you're going to play it in the red at all times.
Well, and what's great about this too, and Tech's rally in the second quarter, I mean, this is why they're the top 2 teams, because they are the 2 best and in the entire Frontier all season long. And then the turnover right off the bat, stepping right in front like a safety, Brooke Gunderson.
Again, just the play out of the guards.
Wow.
Dyer drops another one. Dyer has just had an outstanding ball game here today.
And almost, and it will be another. So 2 straight turnovers. Tech starting the first or third quarter like they did the first.
That's the truth, and hopefully they can, stem the flow there real quickly, kind of put the dam up and stop it. Don't let it go for a 3 or 4 minute run. Stop it now. Get the ball back under control and play your game.
Watkins had a great. And she is hurt. We will follow the action to the other end of the floor, and a nice shot put up, missed, and now it's going to stay with Montana Tech, but the concern is going to be on Sierra Watkins, the 5'7" junior from Sioux Falls, on the drive, Paul, she had a back down, turned around, and then all of a sudden you could tell.
Rolled her ankle hard. Hope she's going to be all right. She is a fantastic player.
She led the game at 12 points at the half, along with 6 rebounds. So they'll go to work on her. And nice job, by the way. I noticed the sports medicine tent. Great job by the Butte Civic Center and Butte Silver County and everybody involved getting this tournament down here. Just one of the great features you get. The hospitality room in this building is bar none the best across the state.
I'm not going to, if you were going to say anything different, I might have resorted to violence. It is the best hospitality room the world has ever known.
Yes.
And I mean, no, it is not. It's happened for decades. It has been the best hospitality room known to mankind.
100%. The shot put up no good. Offensive rebound, though, for Tech. And Badavinik passes over to the right side. Nice fade away. The bucket is good.
Hauber playing real strong for Montana Tech in the block. She has 11, the sophomore out of Billings. Again, just more and more comfortable on the inside.
That was a good offensive possession, and now Teal, she'll kick it out. The three is on the way by Dyer, no good, and the rebound for Hadley Humphreys, Blackfoot, Idaho.
Montana Tech kind of shows they kind of show their hand here. They're saying if Teal's going to get the ball in the block, we're going to double team her. If you want to go out to the edge and shoot the deep ball, go ahead, but we're not going to let Tabor Teal beat us on the inside, and we'll see if that stays.
And Humphreys going right back to work.
I think that's Teal's third.
If it is, that will be an interesting call from Coach David Moe. It is her third, first team foul.
Boy, and that's one, if you leave her on the floor, or she comes out and comes back in later, you darn well know Tech's going to go right at her. They are going to go, I mean, I know I certainly would. I would be dropping the ball into the block and just going at her. Even if you get a charge or maybe 2, there's a real chance you're going to get her with 4, and that's going to lean heavily in your favor.
100%. You get the player of the year on the bench with 3 fouls, and they're still 8-17. We've only played a minute 43 of this quarter.
Yeah, and it feels like a lifetime of game time thus far. So Chappell in, down in the block. We'll see how that changes both sides of the ball.
Nice move by Bria Wasmond, and the junior makes it an 8-point lead again. And that's what I think we'll see, Paul, is those guards start to go to work.
I'll tell you, I love watching these guys play. They're just so good. They swarm. They're so intelligent.
That's going to be knocked out of bounds off of Dakota State, so it'll stay as Van Blaricum checks in.
I'm not going to lie, I'm used to calling games from the booth where you kind of have a little bit better view of the floor. Like, I want to know what that touch lasts, and I can't see it.
That's why we have great camera crews. Humphreys. Oh, a nice backdoor pass, and the layup reverses, partially blocked.
Gunderson there on the front side, Chappell on the back side, both held their ground.
And that's going to be a travel or an offensive foul. Van Blaricum stepping in. It was going to be one or the other. There was no question Dakota State was going to turn it over.
And again, that just comes down to the speed of this game. These two teams are just going so hard to the basket. Take a look here.
Yeah, it was going to be one or the other. Great call down there on the baseline, and now Tech easily breaking the press, and the shot is up and in by Hauber.
Boy, you can't, the press is going to give you a lot of benefits, but you can't let them get that deep with that easy of a shot.
Well, that's the best that Tech has broken the press all game, as now Dakota State with the 6-point lead. They've led throughout. We were tied once at 2. The first quarter was all Trojans, and then the second quarter was all Tech. As Dyer, and a block shot by Badavinik. And then the ball is knocked out of bounds. Good defense by Dyer to avoid the foul, and she actually forces the turnover.
That's a great play downfield by Dyer. Take a look here.
This is going to come right at you, Paul.
Badavinik defensively has been so much better this year. Boy, she just swatted that out clean. That's 100%. A beautiful play.
It'll stay with Tech.
What a defensive play by Dyer.
About the only thing is there's the steal cross court. And the Trojans in transition, and they'll turn it over. And then you'll get the foul on Madeline Hansen. So things changing, and we get line changes for both teams.
You know, we're feeling a little bit of momentum swing here. Montana Tech feels like they're leaning forward, where the Trojans kind of on their heels a little bit. We'll see what they do to adjust here. Tremendous here to see Watkins back out on the floor. She went down earlier. Love seeing her back out on the floor and able to participate in this championship game.
100%. Well, to be honest, at this point, the Trojans need her on the floor.
That's a great point.
So Tech down 6, a chance to cut it to within 4 on this possession. 3 with a triple. Haber. Nielsen goes to work. Leaves it back. The shot up off the glass. No good. And
Nielsen's going to get called with a shove there. That one was bouncing across the baseline after Conan put that one up in the air. And it felt, and again, I'm a long way away from it, felt incidental, but they called the official right on top of it, pushing call, and Trojans back the other way.
By the way, Rob Tesh texted me and said, I taught you well.
Oh.
So
wow.
He did. Oh, a quick 3. It's off the back iron. Watkins! And a foul on Tech, and that's what Watkins brings to this game as well and into her team.
Watkins is just so good rebounding the basketball. She has that kind of sixth sense to go after the rock. That's already her 9th rebound, and we have 6 minutes left in the third.
That is, and she's going to end up probably with a double-double.
Easy.
So Dakota State with the ball. 6 minutes left here in the third quarter. The tempo hasn't slowed down, but the style of game kind of has. And another travel up on top by Hampton Hines.
And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but the tempo of this is never going to change. Yeah, I mean, if it goes 40 minutes, it's not going to change. If we go to extra periods, it's not going to change. These two teams, their throttle is stuck wide open, and it'll see who blinks first.
I guess the way I should have phrased it is Nielsen fires from 15.
Boy, she has such a smooth turnaround jumper, especially from that 15 to 18 range. Montana Tech really needs that in this game here tonight.
51-47. This is the closest the Ore Diggers have been in a long time. And there's Watkins again.
She's a machine. 14 points, 9 rebounds for Watkins. And remember, she went down with a rolled an ankle.
Yeah, I mean, she was down on the ground for a while. And great to see her back out. And if you're a Trojan fan and they're going to get the push in the back from Chapel, gotta love seeing Watkins out. I guess the way I should have phrased that is the tempo's not changing, but the pace feels like it in a different form.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it does.
Okay.
And it's funny how, I mean, they both run the same type of offenses. They both like to do the same thing. But you can certainly tell when one team is feeling it or the other is. And right now, Montana Tech has that momentum.
And they are within 2, are the Ore Diggers. It is 53-49.
Haber leading scorer for Montana Tech. She has 13 on 6 of 9 shooting. And you can hear the crowd getting loud here at the Butte Civic Center.
Definite home crowd advantage here. And the 3. Off the mark on the front iron. Offensive rebound. The putback. I don't know. You know what? That reminded me of, who was it that played for Coach Mowat at Northern? We'll find out when we come back. 53-49. Dakota State leading Tech in the third.
Need print materials fast? Minuteman Press has you covered. From business cards to banners, flyers to signs, we print it all with professional quality at lightning speed. Upload your design in minutes, choose from thousands of templates, and get exactly what you need when you need it. Whether it's for your business, event, or big idea, Minuteman Press delivers printing made simple, fast, and affordable. Minuteman Press, printing for the minute you need it.
It's more than a jersey. It's more than a game. It's honor, pride, and legacy. Stepping onto that court, knowing you carry the whole city with you. Inside the kennel, there's a heartbeat. Here, nothing is given. Everything is earned. You fight for every rebound, every possession, because pride doesn't come free. This is Gonzaga, and this is our house. Join Nonstop Local this season and be a part of the excitement.
4-point game. Dakota State leading Montana Tech. The game we all expected when we tipped this thing off not too long ago. Jason Walker back courtside with Paul Panisco. And Montana Tech has controlled this game from the 2 or 3 minute mark of the first quarter really on.
Yeah, there's a couple things the Trojans have just done exceptionally well. They got hot at the three-point line there early, which helped them out a ton. But it feels like the rebounding side of this, they have been wonderful today, and a lot of that by Watkins. She's done a great job there in Chapel there as well. She went up and got a huge rebound and just stood her ground.
And the MSU Northern stand All-America that we were thinking of, or I was Asia Edwards, who her senior year was that 2014-15 season.
My favorite Asia Edwards memory was always she, when she would get tired, she'd pull her jersey to come out, and she'd look at Coach Mowat and, pull her jersey. And I remember Coach Mowat would look at her and, look away. He'd look into the stare, he'd are you what you want? What, I'm sorry? Yeah, he would never get her out of the game.
Oh, good, strong move. Humphreys down low.
That's it.
And it's her 3-point game.
That is her strength. Get that ball. She gets low. Nice power dribble and just makes her way in.
Teal, an air ball. She rushed that. You can tell she is trying to do something right now.
And, you wonder if, the idea that you're kind of the hood ornament of this team, you wonder if there is pressure to try and put them on your back and drag them at times.
Well, you are the conference player of the year. That was announced last week, as voted on by the coaches.
These Trojans will host a pod, which is you certainly knew was going to be the case.
And I believe the Rocky men, from the sounds of it as well. Yep. Offensive rebound, the putback. It's a 1-point game.
Liv Wongren padding her stats. She gets the offensive rebound, her 5th and her 12th point.
This is the closest that Montana Tech has been, as Watkins now makes it, again, a 3-point game.
She is absolutely automatic right now. 16 points for Watkins. She's 7 of 8 shooting.
As Badavinik tries to answer at the other end. Loose ball, foul, count it, and a chance for the tie.
Here's one of your big differences right here. The difference in how they're crashing the boards on the offensive side. Multiple offensive rebounds for Montana Tech right now, and we're seeing that translate into points, and even more importantly, translate into significant momentum as this ball game goes on.
100% all momentum right now for Montana Tech is Brooke Badavinik, the hometown girl. Chance to tie it up since it was 2-2.
I mean, talk about pressure. You come into this, and she probably would never voice it, but the idea that you're Butte's all-time leading scorer, there's some pressure on that. And her freshman year was tough, and she has just stepped up huge this year.
Well, ball movement, errant 3, it's loose, and it's an offensive board for Wasman. Look at that intensity from Badavinik's eyes. I would not want to get stared down by her in the alley here in Butte.
Yeah, you don't want to play pickleball against her, I've heard, too.
Oh, really? Okay, the turnover. Great defense on the baseline. And now,
Conan.
The lead for Montana Tech, the first of the ball game.
Montana Tech on an 18-10 run here in this third quarter, Jason.
57-56 Ordiggers. And an offensive foul. They are going to get Wasman with the reach around, and a great job defensively there by Neibauer because she stood her ground.
That was that was a call of note. When we talk to the officials, every year there's always those calls that they're like, we need to make sure to keep an eye on this. And that was one of those calls that the conference was looking at and making sure that they were calling a couple years ago. You don't see it called a ton anymore, but that one blatant and easy and a good call by the official.
Terrific call. Now Montana Tech with its first lead of this championship game with 2:35 to go in the third.
The confidence change out of Tech is drastic.
The shot, Wongren no good, and then a foul in the backcourt.
Conan going to be called in as she tried to reach in and knock that one away. Conan's second personal foul.
That was a long buzzer over there. I was looking to see if anybody fouled out. I'm like, I don't think so.
Tech shooting 50% from the floor right now. The other side, Dakota State at 43%. The big difference is Dakota State down to 25% from the three-point line.
Yeah, they were 5 of 9 to get things going. And there's the drive by Teal and the emotion.
That's your leader right there. Tabor Teal, strong take down the right side of the key. There's a lot of similarities between the way she and Hadley Humphreys play the game, and that showed it to me. I mean, that real aggressive take right to the rim, and you just saw the emotion boil up afterwards. Both, the game means everything, and that was just a fantastic move.
I think Van Blericum's got some blood on her knee. She'll have to go over to the right side to her bench and get that looked out. And this was right after a line change for the Orediggers.
He comes over to talk to coach, trainer.
I think she has 20 seconds.
Yeah, Chris Brown, who is, yes, one of the Hobbits. He will tape her up, and he gets her back out on the floor.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, Chris Brown.
Was he the trainer of the year in the Frontier a couple years ago?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Then Trey was this past year. Talk about another group that cares about the conference. All of them. And I'm not talking about just Montana Tech. All the trainers that we have really do an outstanding job with the kids. And you can tell there's a lot more than a job there for those individuals.
Absolutely. 58-57 Trojans by 1. Just our second lead change. And a nice move by Humphreys. Didn't get the call she was looking for. And now back the other way, Dakota State. Teal fakes the 3. She'll drive on Humphreys. And good
Double
defense,
team.
Van Blericum. Unfortunately for Tech, knocked it right to the Trojans. Gunderson, drive, kick across the paint. Teal blocked, saved it. 6 to shoot. Dyer will do it. No good. And the rebound, Wongren.
Tremendous defense on the baseline by Brooke Badavinik that time. Everything that came across the baseline she got a piece of. She might not have taken it over, but she redirected every single pass underneath there. The officials.
Yeah. You know, they did what you said. You got Teal with 3 fouls. They took it right at her, Humphreys. And Teal backed off as Humphreys leaned in and dribbled it off her foot out of bounds.
No, and there again, I think you still keep going right at her. Yep. But you have to, I mean, again, that comes back to just how smart of a player she is. She knows that they're going to be coming at her, and she is able to adjust and keep her game where it is.
Watkins up on top, the shot faked. And now the drive into the paint. Gunderson will bring it back out. Looks for Teal, or rather Wasserman back door. And Wasserman gets it off somehow to Chappell. Kick out. 3, good. Offensive rebound leads to a triple.
Boy, nice job by Chappell getting that offensive board. She kept the ball high, out of reach of the Montana Tech guards, and cleared it to the wing.
Again, very Asia Edwards-esque. Fantastic player for Michigan. They made the final 8 her senior year, I believe. And that wild shot, Wongren is going to go back the other way for the Trojans, who can hold for the final shot. Well, one team won the first quarter, one team won the second quarter, and we've had a knockdown drag out here in the third. I don't know what we're in store for the fourth.
It's going to be real interesting to see where this goes. You know, you start to see a little bit of fatigue out here. So we'll see what the next 10 minutes looks like out here on the floor. See if we see more timeouts.
Watkins inside to Gunderson. Shot is off the mark, and then we're going to get a foul called on the rebound. That'll go on Dakota State's Chappell.
That's a tough foul with 2.9 seconds left.
And, you know, you're going to get those fouls. A, you're at the end of the quarter. But B, so much hustle from both of these teams.
Truly. You know, with 2.9 seconds, the idea of the foul, that's Chappell's second, which isn't an issue, but you're going to get a chance at some free points here from the foul line for Haley Neibauer, as Neibauer is a 71% free throw shooter. The young sophomore is already turning into a nice floor general for this Montana Tech team. She has the same energy as Coach Graham, which is really scary.
Yes, it is. Misses the first.
Montana Tech shooting free throws right now is 11 of 15 at 73%.
She'll make the second one. And this end of the quarter, could not have come at a better time for both of these teams. 61-58. The number 1 seed leads the 2 seed in the Frontier Championship with 1 quarter left.
Hey, Billings, it's Jeremy here with 2 men and a truck. We want your moving day to be smooth, stress-free, and affordable. Here's how we can help make that happen together. When your boxes are packed and taped, and your pathways are clear, your home is clean and ready, and your furry friends are safe and secure. Everything flows beautifully. You'll save time, money, and have peace of mind. Give us a call, 406-703-1700.
Thanks for watching. I want to wake each morning with you next to me.
You've got the skills. Now it's time to put them to use at a job you love. Join us for the JSEC Jobs Jamboree at Metro Park Pavilion on March 18th. Early entrance for veterans, U.S. military reservists, and their families at 11. Then from 11:30 to 5, we're open to the public. Find employment opportunities across many diverse industries and receive the opportunity to engage in face-to-face discussions with potential employers. There's something for everyone. For more info, call Job Service Billings at 652-3080 today, and we'll see you at the 34th Annual Jobs Jamboree.
It's The Party, Dancing Through the Decades, Friday, May 8th at the Northern Hotel in downtown Billings from 7 to 10 p.m. Enjoy a night filled with music, dancing, and celebration, plus live and silent auctions. Dress up in attire from your favorite decade. Get early bird ticket prices through the end of March. Proceeds will benefit Allies in Aging, Senior Services, Lifelong Support. Buy tickets at alliesandaging.org.
10 minutes of Frontier Conference women's basketball for the season. 61-58. And our keys to the game brought to you by Butte Auto. Easy to find off I-90 at the Harrison Avenue exit in Butte. Find your next ride at Butte Auto. Jason Walker, courtside, Paul Panisco. A fantastic basketball game as Tabor Teal misses on the first possession of the final quarter.
And they did not decide to double down on her. They just went one-on-one. Hobber,
well,
Badavinik coast to coast.
Perhaps you should figure out a way to stop her. Now Watkins quickly down the floor. And again, we will see this tempo no matter what time it is on the game. And offensive foul is going to get called on Watkins.
Liv Wongren in the key, held her ground. You know, and it's one thing to take a charge, but it's another thing when it is at this tempo, when you're breathing as hard as you are, when it's late in the game. Every one of those hurt even more.
Yes.
And to be able to stand there and take it and go the other way is a big, big deal.
Well, I remember coaching with my dad in Gallatin Gateway, Montana, 5th through 8th grade. And if someone took a charge in a game, he'd buy him an ice cream cone.
I think Jeff Graham does the same thing, honestly.
Hey, there you go. It works. Badavinik into the paint. 1 point lead for the Trojans. Minute gone by here in fourth quarter. 5 on the shot clock. The drive. Wild shot, and getting the rebound, but just kind of two-stepping her way out of bounds. Hobber.
I mean, it looked good. You know, she little Michael Jackson across the baseline trying to keep her toes in, just unable to stay inbounds or get rid of the rock.
And she'll be at Uptown at one of those great places tonight, dancing it away. And a foul in the paint as grabbing from behind Avery Carlson. We haven't seen her a lot since that first quarter. She's been very quiet tonight.
Yeah, really just running the point. You know, she is one of those players that you can get 5 to 7 out of her as far as points go, but I'll tell you, running the point, running their offense, and especially on the defensive side, Avery Carlson is just as good as it gets. She's hyper intelligent.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, she had a pretty good high school coach up there in Havre.
Yep.
Havre back at the state tournament. Nice move by Watkins, and almost came away with the rebound.
Again, Watkins just crashing the boards, almost took that one away from Hobber, but Hobber able to hold on to it. That's rebound number 8 for her.
you know, you and I talked in the pregame, we talked in the open as the pass back up on top, 9 to shoot, but these teams going to have to use the depth tonight, but you're going to get balance out of both of these teams as well, as the shot is off the mark and the rebound to the Dakota State Trojans.
Doesn't feel like either team has gone to the bench more than normal, so we'll see if that continues. Watkins just continues to reign, and she has 19 points. She's 3 of 4 from the three-point line.
She is having a fantastic basketball game here.
And remember, she rolled her ankle
early in that third quarter,
out.
Yeah. 64-60. 7:33 left in regulation.
See who goes on the first run here in this fourth quarter. Could be real detrimental as this one goes down.
First couple minutes of any quarter, the most important. According to many coaches, that three is way off the mark. From Hampton Hines. And Badavinik right back down the floor. She's had 2 of those this quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're picking her up, but they're not getting a body on her. They just kind of watch her go right to the rack.
Oh, wow.
Wasman does the same. Guard play here today is just special. These groups are fantastic at guard.
Well, and, you know, I talked with lots of people this year. Badavinik again, down to the baseline. The turnaround, pounces in. 66-64.
Brooke Badavinik, 14 points. Her high this year was 23, and that one was at Bellevue.
Another great move by Wasman.
We've got a show on each side of the floor, the Badavinik-Wasman show as of right now.
It's wonderful to watch.
No joke. Wasman, 15 points for the Trojans.
So we talk a lot about being the Frontier men's side, being guard-driven. How about the women's side and how many great guards there are in this league? And now with the 6 new teams, we get even more. And Watkins fouled hard by Badavinik. Maybe the landing was harder than the foul, because honestly, in real motion, it didn't look hard.
Yeah, Watkins came down awkwardly, landed on her knees, and luckily does jump right back up here.
And again, line changes from both. I feel like I'm calling hockey again.
Truly, and that's kind of it. I'm honestly kind of surprised that Montana Tech has pulled out their, if you want to go line changes, their number 1 line with, as far as their post players go, because that has usually been dependent on what Tabor Teal is. If she's on the floor, they have been on the floor. Normally, when she has gone out is when we have seen Conan come in, when we have seen Nielsen come in, when they bring on the other side, when Chappell comes into the ballgame.
Watkins goes 1 out of 2. Said it before early in the game. She's just a 53% free throw shooter coming in. But 20 points now, that's more than double her season average.
Yeah, that's just fantastic right now. She has been on.
Well, if you're a fan watching this game at home or here in the Civic Center, you're not missing anything bad. This is all good basketball, and you're getting great looks from both teams. It's so much fun. And Badavinik, almost her Dougie Peoples impersonation.
Trojans doing a good job blocking out, getting the rebound. They're starting to crash the boards hard again.
Dyer. You know, that's one thing,
trouble.
And we're going to get a held ball. That'll go to Montana Tech.
And that's one of those that over-penetration by the guard. You're going to see it on both sides. As a point guard, you can't drive into the block without help, especially down in the land of the bigs, because the minute you pick up your dribble, it's over.
You're talking to a guy who's 5'5". I understand that all too well.
Just helping. We talk about how good Watkins has been here tonight. She has 20 points already, and that is her season high. She had 18 against MSU Northern at home earlier this year.
Wangren almost was called for a double, gets it up the floor, and then has it knocked out by Teal. 5:25 to go in regulation. 69-64.
Quick line change again here by the Digs.
It is like hockey.
It is.
That was a 40-second or less shift.
And most of the time they are 4 people. Hauber, Humphreys, also Van Blaricom and Carlson back in.
You mentioned to me earlier you feel Tech has more depth if this game stays tight, and it does as Wongren again hits.
You know, I think they're awful close, but I do feel that Tech is a little bit deeper. But the other one that I think helps them a lot is elevation. You know, the elevation is going to be an issue, and how long that takes to acclimate to, I don't know. You know, the Trojans have been here since Wednesday, so they might be all right with it by now, but yeah, that was an issue when they played in Butte the first time.
This is good defense by Tech, and then Teal drives with 9 on the shot clock, draws the foul.
I mean, like that shot from Teal. You know, she can go to a full elbow up shooter. She can do that little scoop shot. She can put them up from anywhere.
It's a 3-point lead here in Butte, Frontier Conference Women's Championship.
Your vehicle keeps you running, it keeps you safe, and gets you home at the end of a long day. At Hansers, we know the value of the trust you put in your vehicle mechanic. From transmission repair and replacement, major engine repair, or simple routine maintenance, our technicians' main goal is always taking care of you. Honest and fair pricing, convenient shuttle services, and over 60 years of automotive repair experience. Because when it comes to your well-being, nothing replaces experience. Trust Hansers.
We need your help to make March matter. Support Billings Clinic kids and help families by scanning the QR code on your screen. 100% of your donations will help families of pediatric patients in Montana and northern Wyoming with costs like utility bills, travel and lodging, medical equipment, and other financial needs. For every online donation of $20 or more, you'll be entered to win a 7-night stay in Mexico or a MetaQuest 3 VR headset. Please visit billingsclinic.com/makemarchmatter for more information. Together, we can reach our goal and make March matter.
Dakota State, 69-66 over Montana Tech. Little Ordigger, future football players.
Jibber Graham,
coach's son. 3-point game, 4:53 to go. Well, now if you start looking at fouls, we still have less than 5, but there's not many. I mean,
less of an issue now. We talked about it quite a bit earlier about the idea of trying to go after Tabor Teal. That ship has passed.
Yep. And we're going to get a hold on Carlson.
Carlson tried to reach through and poke check that one away. And that's her 4th. So there's your foul issue there. So that'll bring her out. Neibauer will check in her place, a very good player. I think defensively they're just as strong, but Avery Carlson running the offense is a much better point guard. We'll see how that affects here on the offensive side.
It's a great way to bring it up as the 3 is on the way, no good. And the rebound, Humphreys, and she'll get it off to Wongren to bring it up the floor. Now Dyer up on top. Humphreys, left elbow, drives to the right block. She'll put it up and miss the shot, and then we get a foul underneath.
Had a great mismatch there as well. She realized she had Watkins on her, and she is far stronger than Watkins. Went down the right side of the paint, tried to curl it in, and Liv Wongren comes flying in with a nice offensive board.
And then the foul on Hadley, that's now her 3rd. And it'll put Wongren at the line, chance to cut into this 3-point deficit. Tech has led once. That came with 2:45 left in the 3rd. It has been anywhere from a 1 to 4-point lead consistently, really, for the Trojans here over the last couple of minutes.
It's interesting to kind of watch that bungee. You know, it keeps pulling. It'll pull down to 1 and pull out to 4. We need somebody needs to go on a run to either put it in the rearview mirror or, you know, grab the lead and take off. And we'll see if anybody's able to do that here in the back half of this 4th quarter, or if we're just going to have just kind of a slugfest to the wire.
I'm going to go with both. The 3. Again, off the front iron, again, Watkins, the offensive board. She'll kick it out. That 3 is on the way, too strong from Wasman. And Watkins with another offensive rebound. And then she gets the foul on Badavinik.
Watkins is just absolutely playing on a different level right now, going after rebounds. She is just channeling the worm right now. She has 20 points, 13 rebounds.
And she just out-muscled a couple of Ordiggers on that possession.
That was incredible. That was such a good basketball play. I mean, those are the kind of players you adore, like you want to watch them play. And Watkins just continues to add to her afternoon.
You know, she has struggled from the line tonight. I'm looking at the wrong one. She's now 5 for 6.
I was going to say, I think season-wise she struggles a little bit.
She went
but
1 out of 2
not.
once. Okay. 4:05 to go in regulation. 71-68. Jason Walker, Paul Panisco, and our entire SWX crew, and a travel in the backcourt. And guess who causing the disruption?
There you go. That's the situation. So the press is going to get a turnover. Now you just have to just put it away. You have to just put it away. You can't let it bother you. You have to get back in your game, get a turnover, go the other direction.
Teal. They give it to the Frontier Conference MVP. Dumps it off underneath the Watkins, who missed everything.
Great double team on the baseline.
And that was
shrug it off.
They brought it back on. They hadn't doubled her in a couple of possessions. Good ball movement. And then Watkins comes over and blocks the shot away.
She has officially done everything tonight. Yeah, she is playing so well right now for the Trojans in every aspect. 22 points, 13 rebounds. She has 2 blocks. And only 1 turnover accounted to her here today. Watkins is just on a mission.
Well, and you almost get the sense that she feels that Teal is not there as normally she would be, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you, if you even just take her offensive rebounds out of this discussion, Trojans are trying to claw back into this ballgame.
Yeah. And Teal goes to work and draws the foul on Hadley Humphreys.
Again, just that attack. She knows right where the defender is. You know, she's going after the basket. She's going after the foul as much as she's going after the basket in that scenario. And tries to convert, unable to make it so, but she will go to the line. And more importantly, Humphreys gets her 4th.
So that's Carlson and Humphreys each now with 4 for the Orediggers as Teal knocks down the first. You know, you and I have had the privilege over a lot of years in the Frontier to watch athleticism in the women's game. You know, you think back to Natalie Fopel, the Butte girl. Just so many. Cassie Hashley, or, you know, the ladies that Rochelle Sayers and Bill Himmelberg have had over the years, too. Just so many great ones. It's hard to name them all. Bree King, obviously, too.
You know, I mean, some of my favorites, you go back to, like, the Twin Towers at UW when you had Catherine Sunwall and Bobby Scher. And, you know, Bobby Scher is the mom to our young Kylie Conan, you know, and the idea of having second generation in this conference and meaning as much as they do is a big deal. But yeah, you look at some of the absolute machines we have had on the women's side of this conference, it's really special. Let alone like a little gal by the name of Bree that, you know, lived down to Dillon.
She had a fantastic 2-year run, the Lindsay Woolley squad. NAI National Player of the Year, National Championship.
And I credit the fact that those games were in Billings is a huge factor why UM Western won that national title.
And LC State almost did the year 2 before.
No joke. Speaking of good guards, holy moly. I'm drawing a blank on her name momentarily.
I am too.
Humphreys.
Nice up and under. She'll head to the free throw line. And Teal's looking back at the bench. Not on her. It's on Caitlin Dyer, the redshirt junior from Morfettville, South Australia. And really, she said, just think Adelaide. That's about where it's at. Which is still...
I'm sorry, that doesn't help me at all.
Southern Australia.
I have found, honestly, with the expansion of the Frontier Conference, that my knowledge of geography is really, really bad. Really, really bad.
Second one is good. 72-70.
No, we don't at all.
So
8 points for Hadley Humphreys. Sorry.
Can you name the Dakota schools and their cities? And Bellevue, Nebraska. That's the easy one.
I plead the fifth.
2-point game with 2:25 to go. Caitlin Dyer. Now Teal. Deep three is blocked away. Great defense by Wongeren. Now Humphreys. Down the line. Now down the lane, rather, by Hobber. No good. Knocked out of bounds. Stays with Tech with 2:32 to go.
Boy, was that Wasman that got the poke check in there as that rebound came down? It felt like Hadley Humphreys had an easy return, and I believe it was Wasman that just punched it out of there. Otherwise, that's an easy 2, and we're tied up.
I was going to bring this up in the first quarter as the 3 is no good from Van Blaricum, and the rebound to Teal. But Jeff Graham had 2 timeouts called in the first 4 minutes of the game. He hasn't called one since. Dakota State's only called 1. Is Dyer off the mark. Both teams shooting free throws the rest of the way. The possession arrow favors the Trojans.
I don't feel like that was the shot they wanted. I think the 3 is okay, but they didn't have the full team down the floor. That time Montana Tech had numbers, and that 3 turned, you don't make that thing. Montana Tech quickly goes the other way.
And Humphreys, offensive foul.
She's done. Hadley Humphreys is going to foul out.
And I'd love to look at the replay if we get a chance, but there was a lot of contact. Both players went down, and we'll see it coming around, unless it's going to be on the screen. It will be.
It will be the illegal screen
on Van Blair, or Hauber rather. Ooh. Yeah, that's a big call.
Yeah, that's advantageous.
And guys, that is fantastic work in the truck and on the cameras to get that shot for us. Thank you. And Teal down the lane, too strong, but Watkins tips it out.
That's one of those that doesn't go in the scorebook, but that's a huge play by Watkins. You get a fresh shot clock and you keep the basketball.
And an air ball in the paint by Wasman. And then the steal in the backcourt. 70 seconds to play. 72-70.
Karstensen behind everybody. Communication wasn't there, so the Trojans hold on to it.
Wasman's going to drive. She'll bring it out to the wing. And now Teal up on top, back to Wasman, right back to Teal. 10 to shoot. 52 seconds to play. The spin in the paint, off the mark, too strong. And a big rebound for the Orediggers and a timeout taken. Jeff Graham was halfway down the floor trying to get that TO called.
So he's going to call a timeout. It looks as though they're going to keep the ball in their offensive zone and set something up.
And we'll find out what happens when we come back.
And all the other apostles except John laid down their lives for Jesus. They lived out the conviction that God placed in their hearts. That it's not about life here. It's about what God has called us to. It's another kingdom. We have left our allegiance to Caesar and all the world around us. We have transferred that allegiance to Jesus Christ.
Be sure to watch the Midnight Cry broadcast every Sunday at 8:30 a.m.
We need your help to make March matter. Support Billings Clinic kids and help families by scanning the QR code on your screen. 100% of your donations will help families of pediatric patients in Montana and northern Wyoming with costs like utility bills, travel and lodging, medical equipment, and other financial needs. For every online donation of $20 or more, you'll be entered to win a 7-night stay in Mexico or a MetaQuest 3 VR headset. Please visit billingsclinic.com/MakeMarchMatter for more information. Together, we can reach our goal and make March matter.
46.5 seconds to play in regulation. Dakota State, the number 1 seed in the Frontier Tournament, leading the 2 seed Montana Tech 72-70. The possession arrow favors the Trojans. Tech has 1 timeout, Dakota State with 3. Paul, if you are Tech, obviously you got to look for Badavinik, Wongren, maybe even Hauber.
Yeah, I think that right now you just got to run your offense. There's so much time remaining. Even if you take the clock all the way down, you're still at like 17 seconds. So I think you just have to run your offense, work on getting points, and then go from there. Just let your offense go. Everybody out there can get points.
Humphreys on Teal. Wasman comes over. Great defense. Badavinik's 3 ball is good. It is 73-72. Montana Tech, and once again, Brooke Badavinik.
You just saw everybody in the building stand up when she got that ball squared up. Brooke Badavinik just put that thing on ice, and everybody in this joint went crazy.
It is loud here in the Butte Civic Center.
This is what tournament basketball is about. A neutral site is where it's at.
100%.
It has to be about these, and that's the reason why. You get these huge Cinderella shots. Let's take a look at this out of Brooke Badavinik. Great pass from the post.
Look at everybody rise. Beautiful shot, both from camera and from her. And a timeout taken by Dakota State. They can advance the ball three-quarter court.
So now the question comes in. You've got 20.8 on the clock. The shot clock is off. Do you hold on to it? Or are you somebody that's going to hold on to it till that 10-second mark, go into your offense? Or how do you think the Trojans are going to go about this?
Well, the way I like to do, and I heard this from a lot of great coaches over the years, is if you're going to do that, get it to 10, 12 seconds, then make that move, get the shot up, allow yourself 4 or 5 seconds to get an offensive rebound and a chance to win it if you miss the shot.
The other side here is we are in the double bonus for both. 5 team fouls, so anything is going to put people at the line.
Teal, now Wasman.
That's who you want with a rock for sure.
15 seconds. Wasman, kick out. 3-ball, short, rebound, Tech. Badavinic will get a held ball. And the timeout came before the held ball was called by Jeff Graham. And wow.
And if that's the person you wanted with the basketball, if there's a foul as well. She is an 86% free throw shooter. That could not have happened in any better scenario for Montana Tech, in all truth. As their best free throw shooter, she is going to have the rock. So we'll see what this next 9.6 seconds comes about. But you'd have to expect Montana Tech looking to inbound the ball to her. The other one, in my opinion, is Avery Carlson. Carlson on the year, she's 66%, but she has that gamer blood in her. You know, she is going to be better in the higher pressure moments. I'm fine with her shooting free throws as well. So we'll see what they draw up to get this thing into play.
Well, look, she's got that championship pedigree from Havre that we talked about her entire career is going to be talked about like that. So she does have that where she can hit big shots. She can hold the ball and keep it away from the defender.
She's an honors biology student at Montana Tech, where Jeff Graham knew that he couldn't redshirt her because she's going to graduate in 4 years and go on to med school. I mean, that's her path. And so her grades are insane. She's incredibly smart. And, the student athlete, she is like the hood ornament of what a student athlete is at Montana Tech and across the Frontier Conference.
Well, the entire Frontier is like that. I mean, oh, my gosh. By the way, it was Kaylin Orlandi who was the Casey Parrott texted you that, the former SID Sports Information Director.
I love that dude.
Down at Western. Oh, he was fantastic.
He truly,
our SIDs in this conference don't get enough credit. So Montana Tech will advance the ball three-quarter court. They will have Carlson on the inbound. Go for the steal and then the foul.
Okay.
So is that the one for Tech? Who do you want at the line?
I think you're fine. Humphreys is 70. She's only a 75% free throw shooter. And she's also a gamer. She's one of those that when the stakes are higher, that she doesn't get bothered by nerves. She isn't going to walk up to that thing. She's going to have ice in her veins. You're just fine. And that obviously what was drawn up.
Beautiful design play. And Humphreys, the first one is off the mark. Well, at worst, a tie could come.
Yeah.
We saw a 65-foot game winner last night. Who knows? Second one is good.
Yeah.
So we'll get the timeout
2 for the tie, 3 for the win.
Yep.
Their last look, they set it up for the 3 in the corner. That one came up short.
Do you go for the tie? Why not?
Personally, I think you do.
I think you have to. Because you're on the road in a hostile environment.
And I think the pressure is on you. You are hosting the national tournament, but you are still, I think they still are fighting for a higher seed. They're going to host. So the idea of, hey, we're the number 1 seed, we have to win this thing, I think the pressure is on Dakota State in this scenario. And they live and die by that arc, and for me, I think they're going to let it rip, and I wouldn't be surprised if Wasman takes the shot. But for me, the only person touching this basketball is Sierra Watkins. Watkins takes the shot for me, period.
But then if she gets it, do you foul her because of 53% free throw shooter?
She's done nothing but drain them all night.
That's true. All right, we are 8.7 seconds away.
Everybody's expecting Teal. She gets it.
By 2. They'll wrap it to Watkins. It goes out of bounds to Montana Tech. Teal's pass was a little off the mark. Watkins was getting defended very well by Carlson, and it is Tech basketball with 5.0 seconds left.
With a 74-72 ball game, you'd never expect somebody to say the defense is incredible, but the defense tonight has just been out of this world. We've seen work on the glass. We have seen huge plays on the perimeter, and that was a monster one underneath.
There's the pass, and just unbelievable defense. Badavinik, a Butte rat, right?
That's it. You know, if they double team up, you've got Hauber and Humphreys both on Teal, as you know, and expected it to happen. But then they put Badavinik on the back, and they're going to look at. Okay, so the call on the floor. Can we take a look at the replay one more time, if you don't mind? I'm sorry?
Yeah, we'll get another look at this, and Paul, look at it here. They're going to check it. So the ruling on the floor is Tech's basketball on the baseline. They're going to look at it to see if it was Badavinik that touched it. And we had one of the officials come over and talk to us, and I like, Paul, no that foul touch. Called.
Yeah. That touch right there by Watkins' hand.
Left hand. Yep. That's a great call by Tom Dwyer on the baseline.
Yeah, really nice job that time, getting a good view on that. So if they're not using the SWX cameras for replay, if they had the SWX cameras for replay, they'd be all over it. Now, where the replay cameras are, there are two different vantage points. They're certainly zoomed in, but you question what kind of view they can get at it from where they are.
That's a really good point.
And it has to be overturned.
Right.
So that in my eyes is the big one, is they have to have something that says, nope, Brooke Badavinik push that ball out of bounds, and I just can't imagine you're going to find that, honestly.
No, I have to agree with you on this one, as they have all three looked, all three come together, and they're going to say it is Tech basketball, and that's a great call. Great job in the truck again, guys. Call on the floor stands. Thank you.
Yeah,
so Tech.
I think, again, the biggest factor there is they would have had to seen something that made it overturn. Yeah. And from the great camera work here, we know that she was the last to touch that.
Yep. So now you got a foul right away. Is Tech looking for the series win tonight against Dakota State, as they have each won.
And they send him in motion. Badavinik gets it.
There's the foul.
Yep.
And you know what she did there? She dribbled away. She didn't turn and go up. She dribbled toward the corner. Even if she was going to get trapped, she was taking time off the clock.
Exactly. I mean, that's
just that's Butte basketball smarts.
Yeah, just a tremendous play there. This is turned into everything we expected. I mean, these two teams, well coached. We've seen several different runs. We've seen a slugfest out of both of them, and this is just gut check basketball. And both of them are playing phenomenal basketball when you should be. These two teams are going to do damage at the national tournament.
Absolutely, they will. And Badavinik hits the most important one. Now a chance to make it a two-possession game, and she does. And she pumps the crowd up. Wasman's going to have to fire. It's not going to matter if it goes in. And Montana Tech, your Frontier Conference tournament champions.
The last time this team was in the Frontier Conference Championship, I was corrected, it's 1989.
Okay.
So we are talking 40-plus years since this team was in the Frontier Conference Tournament Championship, and they are going to host the trophy. They'll hang the banner in the rafters, and they have earned the right to make it into the national championship as a Frontier champion out of the tournament. And just an incredible game here tonight.
Fantastic basketball on both sides. I mean, Dakota State going to hang its head a little bit, but they know they're off to the national tournament now. But when you look at the entire first quarter, Dakota State owned it. I mean, this was 24-5 this game, and it looked like they were going to blow Tech out of the water. Tech came back the end of that quarter, all second quarter, to get it close, and then, like you said, a slugfest from there on out.
You look at the shooting percentages, and they just continue to go down.
Well, they just put their name at the champion line on the big old bracket. And your Frontier Conference champions, the Montana Tech Ore Diggers, now getting a 25th win on the season as they pull out the 76-72 victory. We'll wrap things up and get you set for the men's championship when we come back on SWX.
And all the other apostles except John laid down their lives for Jesus. They lived out the conviction that God placed in their hearts. That it's not about life here. It's about what God has called us to. It's another kingdom. We have left our allegiance to Caesar and all the world around us. We have transferred that allegiance to Jesus Christ.
Be sure to watch the Midnight Cry broadcast every Sunday at 8:30 a.m.
We need your help to make March matter. Support Billings Clinic Kids and help families by scanning the QR code on your screen. 100% of your donations will help families of pediatric patients in Montana and northern Wyoming with costs like utility bills, travel and lodging, medical equipment, and other financial needs. For every online donation of $20 or more, you'll be entered to win a 7-night stay in Mexico or a MetaQuest 3 VR headset. Please visit billingsclinic.com/makemarchmatter for more information. Together, we can reach our goal and make March matter. We need your help to make March matter. Support Billings Clinic Kids and help families by scanning the QR code on your screen. 100% of your donations will help families of pediatric patients in Montana and northern Wyoming with costs like utility bills, travel and lodging, medical equipment, and other financial needs. For every online donation of $20 or more, you'll be entered to win a 7-night stay in Mexico or a MetaQuest 3 VR headset. Please visit billingsclinic.com/makemarchmatter for more information. Together, we can reach our goal and make March matter.
76-72 as Montana Tech gets the victory over Dakota State as Paul Panisco out to get Coach Jeff Graham his first Frontier Conference championship. And he's getting a whole lot of hugs here. Tech rallies from a 19-point first quarter deficit to get the monster victory. We'll get him on headset here. And we'll see if we can get him. Go ahead and pop that on, Coach.
Okay, just.
Coach, congratulations. Down 19 in the first quarter, and all of a sudden you come back and get this huge, huge win. But what were your thoughts at that 19-point mark after your second time out?
Kind of nothing. Same as we said, yesterday Mester made that run, and we got down to Providence. This team is just calm, cool, and collective, and we knew they're the best first quarter team in the nation. They hit some big shots. We held them, to about 6 or 7 points there for a long time in the second. And, we talked about our depth, and we knew if we could run these guys a little bit, we're hoping in the fourth quarter their shots wouldn't fall. And that's what happened the first time we got lucky. Yeah, they were, 1 for 8 from 3 in the fourth. And, 1 for 8, 2 for 10, 1 for 8. So we just tried to run their legs. They've been here for a week, which is hard. But this community, buddy, this is why Butte. This is why we moved to Butte. It's a special place, high school and college here, but the community, it's a great home court advantage. And when you got just kids that love each other, Jason, they're no selfishness. They're willing to sit the bench. They're willing to sub quick. They don't care who scores. It's amazing what happens when people care, and you got a great group of parents that support it. So this is a special group.
You've won state championships, now a Frontier Conference championship. Where's it rank?
Same. Yeah, they're all special. Like people had asked that about state. They're all special because it's a different group of kids.
Right.
The first is always special, but look at the football crew. It's just when Coach Sampson and them told me to look at this place and how much they loved it. I knew them from their northern days. I knew it was something special, and Matt Steppin's got things going, and they get to work next to the best. Oh, sorry, I'm blabbing. Work next to the best guy in the world, right next to me every day. So going to work isn't even going to work.
Brooke Badavinick.
She's okay.
She's a Butte girl. She's a Butte rat, and she showed it tonight.
She's clutch. She grabbed me at the 5-minute mark. She said, "Give me the ball." I said, "All right, Battle, let's go." And that three, as soon as I think I had my hand up before she even hit it. And she's just that's why Foles called her the assassin, man. He named it correctly. So. Sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, Coach, you're doing fine. Congratulations. Off to the national tournament now. The pods, you don't know where you're going to end up, but it could be somewhere good. But
wish they would have waited a little bit to give us a chance on a 9-game win streak instead of judging us. And that was a bummer. But we'll see. We've got to go beat everybody anywhere, so hopefully one of these years we'll get one.
Well, Coach, congratulations, 76-72. Enjoy this one and get ready for nationals.
Thank you, my friend.
Jeff Graham, his team, 76-72, the first Frontier Conference championship for Coach Graham, and it comes as Montana Tech gets the win over Dakota State. Want to thank everybody involved behind the scenes here, our entire SWX crew. Paul Panisco will be back for the men's game as you take another look at some of the fantastic shots and some of the fantastic plays that were made as Montana Tech rallies from a 19-point deficit to pull out the 76-72 win and advance off to the NAI National Tournament, which starts this coming weekend. Good luck to everybody. Once again, for Paul Panisco, I'm Jason Walker, and our entire SWX crew. We'll see you for Men's Frontier Championship on SWX coming up shortly.
United Way of Yellowstone County works tirelessly to improve lives by connecting people to opportunities to create a resilient community and build strong futures. We will highlight the good they do for our neighbors in need, let you know how you can help, and inform you of the programs they provide. Join us for Strength in Service, the final Friday of each month on the Nonstop Local News at 6.